Control the shit.
I'm very optimistic to win the case, but I have to say that I have been very optimistic all the time. I would never have believed that this happens in Finland because we are a democracy with freedom of speech and freedom of religion in our constitution. And we have also signed up to international human rights treaties. So it has been very unbelievable all the time that this process has continued. So you never can know what happens if I will be convicted and if my pamphlet I have written already 20 years ago or these social media updates, if they will be banned, then it would mean that thousands of similar writings and statements would be banned. In fact, Prosecutor General, she has said in public that if Päivi Räsänen is convicted, it is still allowed to have Bibles in the libraries and to have debates and discussions about the Bible and even to cite the Bible. But what is forbidden is to agree with the Bible. And at the same time, she compared the Bible to Mein Kampf and said that they have this kind of hate speech. So you can't. You are allowed in your mind to agree with the Bible, but you can't state it publicly. So I think that it would be dangerous for these basic freedoms if I'm convicted. I would like to encourage people now to use their freedoms, to use the right and freedom to speech and religion, because the more we are silent about these issues, the narrower will be the space for the freedom of speech and religion. And that's why now it is the time for Christians to be open about their faith and tell openly about the message of the Bible, and especially about the message of the gospel.
What would the consequence of a criminal conviction be if, this case doesn't go your way?
I would say that it would be a catastrophe to freedom of speech and freedom of religion. It would start a time of persecution, because if my writings, if my pamphlet, if it is banned, then they should ban also the Bible. And that was what the police said. The police who is specialized in hate speech, he said in his statement that if the booklet of Päivi Räsänen would be banned, then also the distribution of the Bibles should be punished. And then we have also thousands of similar writings and speeches and radio programs and TV programs. All these writings could be punished after that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm ready to fight so long as it is possible, even to European Court of Human Rights. It is impossible to think the consequences, what could happen after that kind of conviction.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yashaya, Ba'Shem Kakadash. The Lord is my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as and still are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the coming silencing of the truth. That being the advancements of all these online hate bill laws and persecution that is currently going on. Now, before I get into this current event that's going on over in Finland, let's read this. This is Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh Yashaya power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Yashaya. Well, you see, what's been happening these last couple of years is that Edom, which is the biblical name for the Caucasian race, which is the current nationality of people that rule the world, they've been coming down on the truth, right? Primarily the Bible, but doing it on a broader scale. Not only the Bible, but also conspiracy theories, alternate news, and whatnot. And the real target is ultimately the prophets of the Lord bringing out the truth of the Bible and who these Edomites are and what their agenda is. But what's happening is that this is being done in a very slow manner, so slow that it's hard to see it unless you're looking for it. Well, this right here, a big event happened last year when a politician from Finland actually was charged with online hate speech for quoting, biblical texts about homosexual marriage. Well, let's just read this article real quick, and then we'll get into the latest article about her. It says, Finnish elected official charged for quoting the Bible. Finland claims to protect free speech, but its persecutor general is targeting Parliament Dr. Pavi Rasanen for her beliefs. And this is the lady that we just seen the videos of her speaking of the dangers that are going to be coming if Esau passes these laws, which we know he is. And why is he going to do that? Well, we just read it, because the Lord is ultimately going to cut off this truth from the world. You see, right now, the Lord is giving his truth, his message, and his mercy. He's extending his hand to those who are willing to turn back now before the persecution comes, before the Jacob's trouble begins. Now, when that time comes, and the Lord finally says enough, and just as he did on the Ark of Noah, right, when he himself, the Lord, shut the ark and nobody was able to come in, the Lord is also going to shut the doors of mercy where nobody else can come into this truth, meaning that it's not going to be easy for them to go out on the streets or online and hear the lessons from me, the apostles, and other brothers out here who are spreading this truth and giving back the true heritage and the narrative of what's actually going on in the biblical sense. Now, what you're seeing here is just a consequence of this dragnet coming down upon the world. This is why you're seeing this happening here in Finland, right? And why is it so important where Finland is? Well, first of all, let's look to see where Finland is, just so in case some of you Akim need to know. It is across the Atlantic Ocean, over here, right by Sweden. Okay, this is Finland. And the reason why Finland is an important part is because Finland is part of the UN NATO system, okay? And the laws that go on there will ultimately affect not only the NATO EU nations, but also America. And why is that? Well, because you see, Obama, back in 2016, signed over ICANN to the UN. And if you don't know what ICANN is, I know because I work in the internet industry. ICANN is, it tells you here, it says the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. Basically, when you put in Google, this is the company that tells the internet and your computer what IP address Google points to. Okay, this is why if you have a website name, like for example, greatmillstone.com, if they wanted to, they could kill that name and the website would still be up, but there'd be no name pointing to it, okay? And that's because Obama signed over or surrendered the right to this corporation to this company to the EU, and now all the EU laws now fall upon this company. Okay, so the hate speech regulations and all that stuff, and no longer is this company under the First Amendment, the freedom of speech regulations here that it was afforded here in the U.S. Okay, so let's read this. This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And this ultimately is talking about these Edomites, right? Esau and his whole conglomerate political system around the world, which he has operated and maneuvers whichever way he wants to get his ways. You see, that's the thing about the political machine around the world. On the surface, it appears as a just and righteous system where you can get justice. But we all know, and we can see it even more plainly now, that the political system, the legal system that's in place, is a multi-tiered legal system where, namely, Esau and the elites of Esau, for that matter, are the ones that benefit from it, and us Israelites, the Negro, Latino, Native Americans, are the ones who are crushed by it. Okay, and this is ultimately what these devils are coming after. This is why, like I said, when you look around what's been happening in the last couple of years, this is in 2022, when New York started to push forward this, where it says Governor Hochul announces launch of new hate and bias prevention unit within the State Division of Human Rights. Right, this lady who wasn't even elected, she was basically put into office with, I think, emergency powers because the last guy, the guy who was offering burgers for taking that snake bite shot, got ousted or something like that. But the point being is that New York is passing this anti-hate speech bill. It tells you here, a hate crime bill passes in Michigan House. Republicans voice concerns over free speech. This is that law now that if you misgender people, that's actually a crime now, right? And here, Florida legislators support a bill to make hate speech flyers a hate crime. You see, ultimately, all these, and there's lots more hate speech legislation going in all over the place. But why is this? Why can't you speak about the Bible? Well, because you see, when your kingdom is built on a series of lies, the truth is hate to you. This is Philippians 1:28. And in nothing terrified by your adversaries, which is to them an evident token of perdition, destruction, but to you of salvation and that of God. You see, to us Negro, Latino, Native Americans, the gospel, the true gospel of the Bible that tells us Israelites that we are going to be restored, put back into power, and that the devils that run the world, who are imposters, who have taken our heritage and rule everything in wickedness, they're going to be taken out of power and they're going to be dealt with. Right? That to us is good news. To us, it's the word from God, and this is the way it's going to be. But to them, the Edomites in power, this is hate speech to them, because to them it speaks about their impending destruction, which they can't do anything about, but hope that we're wrong about it. But what does the Bible say? This is Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds, that he cannot pass. So these devils, it doesn't matter how many laws they make, right? It doesn't matter when they eventually do outlaw speaking about the truth and preaching the Bible. What was it? Those Israeli Amalekites pushed that law that Christians can't talk about Jesus over there in the Holy Land. You see, these are signs that we're in the end. These devils are trying to cut off this truth as much as they can, right? But again, this is only the beginning of this Akim. Just wanted to let you all know what's going on, so you can see here that the devils are fighting this truth from coming out, and they're doing what they can to stop it from reaching the ears of the people. This is Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye Yahweh b'Shem Yashaya, while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Right now, we are all able to get this truth from the apostles, me, the other brothers. So it behooves us to all to keep studying, to learn, get in as much of the lessons and the truth that we can. Avoid all these, what I like to call entertainment lessons where they're doing rap videos, or they're basically just talking about, camp drama, things like that. Yes, some of that stuff is necessary, but for the most part, you as a regular Israelites, we don't need to be watching this stuff. What we need to be focusing on are the lessons, are the truth of the Bibles, the breakdowns of chapters. That's what we should all focus on now, Akim. Alright? Well, hopefully this video was edifying. Until next time, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yashaya, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Shalom.